Episode 1 aka Start at the Beginning. Superpowered private investigator Jessica Jones has become known as a vigilante hero around New York City since she killed her tormentor Kilgrave. Trish Walker, Jones's best friend and adopted sister, attempts to convince Jones to investigate her past in IGH, the company that gave her abilities, but Jones is not interested. Walker is dealing with declining ratings for her radio show Trish Talk and sees her ex-boyfriend Will Simpson, who was also experimented on by IGH, following her. Price Chang, another investigator, seeks to absorb Jones into his company at the request of lawyer Jerry Hogarth. When Jones attacks and injures Chang, he plans to sue her with Hogarth, who is already facing a lawsuit from Pam, her former assistant and lover. Jones is approached by Robert Coleman, who calls himself Whizzer and was given super speed by IGH. When he is killed in an apparent construction accident, Jones traces his medication to an abandoned building which she remembers being taken to and experimented on. Episode 2 aka Freak Accident. Jones goes to the home of Miklos Kozlov, the IGH doctor who had experimented on Simpson. She finds a Shiva for Kozlov, who has died in a freak accident. One of Kozlov's army patients believes that Simpson is behind this, and Jones suspects that he also killed Coleman. Walker runs into Simpson. Jones also arrives, having tracked Walker down when she did not answer her phone. Simpson claims that someone else who was experimented on by IGH has killed Kozlov and Coleman and that he is there to protect Walker, since she was noticed investigating IGH. This other person soon appears and kills Simpson while Jones gets Walker to safety. Episode 3 aka Sole Survivor. Hogarth is diagnosed with ALS, and her law firm partners Stephen Benowitz and Linda Chow plan to buy her out based on a clause in their contracts. Jones agrees to investigate the other partners to find blackmail material for Hogarth. Jones receives an eviction notice from her building's new superintendent Oscar Orocho, who fears Jones's abilities. She also discovers the name Leslie Hansen in the abandoned IGH building. Hansen was a doctor at the hospital where Jones was taken following the accident that killed her family. Walker uses her radio show to ask the public for information on Hansen and receives a call from a woman claiming to be Hansen. Jones meets with her and learns that she died after the accident but was brought back to life by IGH. The superpowers were a side effect. Jones angers the woman who escapes using abilities similar to Jones. Episode 4 aka God Help the Hobo. Hogarth looks into ways to painlessly end her life, which her doctor does not support. Cheng fires Hogarth for no longer prioritizing him in his lawsuit, and he also offers Dukas a job at his company. Dukas turns down the role, and Jones promises to work with him better. Jones and Walker try to find out who the mysterious woman posing as Hansen was, and Jones scares Tatum into getting the IGH files from the hospital. In addition to Jones and Coleman, there is a file on Inez Green. They find her living on the streets, where she explains that she was a nurse at the hospital who was seriously injured by the mysterious woman. Jones and Walker promise to keep her safe. Cheng sends one of his men to steal all of Jones's research from her office, hoping to find something to use against her. The man is attacked by the mysterious woman, who tears him apart. When Jones arrives, she is arrested for the murder. Walker tries to help her using an IGH performance enhancer she took from Simpson but is also arrested. Dukas takes Green to safety. Episode 5 aka The Octopus. Jones spends a day at the police station before Hogarth convinces her to tell the truth. Detective Eddie Costa believes Jones and releases her with the promise that she will keep Costa informed of her investigation. Walker, bailed out by her mother, Dorothy, struggles with after effects of using the IGH drug. She takes the IGH drug again. Dukas takes Green to Hogarth, who agrees to protect her. Hogarth asks Green about IGH's experiments. Jones meets with David Kowecki, an inmate at a mental hospital serving time for the murder of Green's fellow nurse, who was actually killed by the mysterious woman. Jones learns of a shared interest in octopuses that Kowecki has with an IGH doctor and visits the aquarium. She recognizes the doctor, Carl Malice, in a new memory from after the accident. He meets with the mysterious woman, who upon discovering Jones surveilling them, smashes the glass enclosure of an aquarium in order to create a commotion to cover their escape. Episode 6 aka FaceTime. Walker becomes addicted to the IGH drug and starts looking for criminals to attack. Security footage from outside the aquarium shows Malice drugging the woman and forcing her to leave with him, despite the pair appearing to be a loving couple before. Jones sends Dukas to his old university where he was suspended for his previous drug habit to investigate Malice. They learn of Justice Ambrose, who attended university with Malice and appears to have been paying for all his personal expenses for years. Jones confronts Ambrose, who explains that his son Eric was born with a fatal genetic defect which Malice cured with his experimental treatments. Eric appears to have no special abilities, and Jones threatens him to gain Malice location. Green realizes that Hogarth has ALS and tells her that there was an IGH patient that could heal people by touching them, and he saved her life after the woman had attacked her. Jones goes to the location, where she finds Malice and the woman living together. The latter claims to be Jones's mother. Episode 7 aka I Want Your Cray Cray. Years earlier, after Brian Jones and his son Philip are killed in an accident, his wife Elisa and daughter Jessica are rushed to hospital. Dr. Leslie Hansen secretly takes them to IGH. Jessica is saved and returned to hospital in 20 days, but Elisa's injuries are severe and her treatments take years, altering her looks and causing increased strength and extreme mood swings. Jessica is adopted by the Walkers but grows away from her foster family over time, especially after her adopted sister Trish becomes a drug addict at the beginning of her pop star career. Intent on seeing Jessica, Elisa escapes IGH by killing a nurse and severely injuring Green. She finds Jessica living with a new boyfriend, Sterling Adams, but sees him apparently attempt to exploit her and kills him in a fit of rage. Adams' death leads to Jessica reconnecting with Trish, helping her become sober. Now, Jessica refuses to forgive Elisa and attacks her. Episode 8 aka 8 We Got Fun. Lisa decides to stay with Jessica, hoping to prove that she is the same person who raised Jessica despite looking different and having extreme mood swings. Go to Jessica's apartment, where they are shot at from outside. Jessica is hit, enraging Elisa. Episode 9 aka Shark in the Bathtub. Monster in the Bed. Wanting revenge for the death of his man, Shung tries to kill Elisa. Shooting at her from across the street, he only hits Jessica. Lisa races to find and kill Chang, but Jessica is able to render him unconscious first and convinces Elisa to find a solution other than murder. Ryback is released from prison, and he attempts to heal Hogarth, but he cannot promise that it will work. During a live broadcast of her radio show, Trish, under the influence of the IGH drug, rails against the superficiality of her show's programming and quits. She is offered a desirable job on television but realizes that she has run out of the drug. Orocho, whose relationship with Jessica has become less hostile and more romantic, comes to Jessica when his ex-wife kidnaps their son Vito. Jessica Jessica and Elisa race to save Vito, using their abilities for good. Lisa sees the potential of a life with Jessica doing good like this but still wants to protect Jessica by killing Chang and running away. She is confronted by police and surrenders to them. Episode 10 aka Pork Chop. Hogarth arranges a plea deal for Elisa, where she can avoid the raft, a superhuman prison, if she gives up Malice. Lisa agrees when Jessica promises to keep Malice safe. Jessica explains everything to Trish and Ducasse but tells them to stay away. She finds Malice and convinces him to go to a country with no extradition so Elisa can talk about him without fear of him being caught. Episode 11 aka 3 Lives and Counting. Both agree that he should no longer work for her. Malice takes Trish to the old IGH facility, where he begins to put her through the same process that changed Jessica and Elisa. Jessica arrives and stops the procedure, and she is then almost convinced by her hallucination of Kilgrave to murder Malice. She stops herself, but he decides to end his own life. Malice destroys the facility with himself inside it, while Jessica gets Trish to the hospital. Lisa learns of Malice's death via a news report, kills her new guard and escapes from prison. Episode 12 aka Pray for My Patsy. Lisa goes looking for Trish, blaming her for Malice's death. Finds Jessica protecting Trish at the hospital but still attempts to kill Trish. Costa and his partner Ruth Sunday arrive. They try to arrest Elisa. Jessica tries to talk Elisa down, but Elisa grabs Sunday and jumps out of the hospital, letting Sunday fall to her death. Costa tells Jessica to stay out of the way of the police, but Jessica secretly arranges to meet with Elisa at Trish's apartment. Jessica considers killing Elisa but is unable to do it. Elisa knocks Jessica out and kidnaps her. Episode 13 aka Playland. Jessica attempts to resist Elisa but eventually decides to work with her. Drive towards the Mexico-United States border, saving a family caught in a traffic accident on the way. Jessica and Elisa then drive towards the Canada-United States border but are confronted with police roadblocks. Then go to the nearby amusement park Playland, where Elisa decides to wait until the police arrive. Remembering that the Jones family had visited Playland before the accident, Trish goes there and kills Elisa. Jessica takes the blame but does not forgive Trish. Trish later discovers that her reflexes appear to be heightened. Cos then begins working for Hogarth as part of Chang's agency. Jessica embraces some aspects of normal life with Orocho.